Yo, yo.
Yo,
All right, it's a little laggy. Gonna get to it. All right, hey, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give our honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Kahakudash. Hey, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the Lord's elect. All right, it's the brother Yeshai from Indian Valley, South Carolina, and this lesson is going to be about a war in heaven. Now, if you would ask the average, Christian or whatnot, or anyone that claims to believe in the Bible or whatnot, that's not learned what the war in heaven represents. Okay, more than likely uh, you're gonna get people saying that Satan or Lucifer, which Lucifer doesn't even represent Satan. Okay, the spiritual demon Satan, but they would say that Lucifer represents Satan, and Satan um, had a war with the Most High and the angels because he rebelled. Which is totally the furthest from the truth, man. Because uh, Lucifer, okay, in Isaiah is talking about the high level elites, okay, the elites, so-called the Rothschilds, the Gettys, the DuPonts, Warburgs, um, Oppenheimers, so on and so forth, okay, and they know about this truth. They know who the so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans represent. Okay, they know their role on the planet Earth, and also they know that they have a short time. Okay, they have a short time to be in rule. Okay, and their time to rule is coming to an end. Okay, so without further ado, man, I'm gonna get into the scriptures. And what I want to start out with is the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 7. Okay. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. Now, this is not talking about a dragon, serpent like, lizard type creature that breathes fire or whatever. It's not talking about that. This dragon is talking about man. Okay, this dragon is talking about E. All right, namely the top level of E, and they have a military, and their armies, their military. Okay, is how they hold their power, how they establish their power, and pretty much how they became the hammer of the whole earth when you go into Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. And it also goes into their blessing. Their blessing was the sword, you know. So, and that the modern day sword is the gun, and then all the weaponry that comes after that. All right, the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 7 again. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. Now, this book is parabolic and symbolic. So if you don't understand the verbiage, okay, and it is also important to go into words, okay, because the words get lost in transliteration, words get translated, okay, and you got to find out the root words, the etymology of the word to begin with, to know where to start. All right, where that word started at, how it changed, because end up hey, like this the saying lost in translation. Some words can get lost in translation, so you got to know the origin or the etymology of words, man. Okay, but it says his place was found anymore. His place, their place found anymore in heaven. Now, when you go into the scriptures, there's three levels of heaven. Okay, there's the first heaven, all right, which represents the atmosphere. Okay, the you know uh, the levels of the atmosphere, the stratosphere, and all that. Well, the where the birds dwell at. Okay, Slakia. The first heaven is basically where the birds dwell. Some can fly higher than others. Then the second heavens represents basically like the atmosphere in outer space. Okay, the galaxy and all that is included, but that second heaven represents the atmosphere and stuff like that. But the third heaven represents the spiritual realm where Yahweh Bashem Yahushua dwells. Okay, and this heaven right here, where it's talking about, okay, and also heaven is a place. It represents an heaven. Heaven is part of the third. Heaven is part of the third. I'm trying to get this right. Word it right. Heaven is part of the. There's three types of heaven, and then the actual heaven is included in the third heaven, which where the Most High dwells. That makes sense. Okay, but heaven can also be, a state, and hell is also a state. And right now, okay, the top level elitists, man, the banking families, they are in their heaven. They are in the top rulers. They're in the top seat, man. Okay, Job 9:24. Okay, the world is given into the hands of the wicked. If not, then where who is he? Then you can match that up with I believe that's Malachi 4:1, the border of wickedness. Okay, so that's talking about a position. Okay, so there pretty soon this war that's going to be in the first heaven. Okay, is going to remove the people that are on the so-called high horse or that are in the position to rule, okay, and they're not going to be in rulership anymore. Then they're going to go into their hell, which is going to be slavery and being the scum of the earth, as they were meant to actually, as they were created to be. Okay, they were created to be the scum of the earth, man. And I'm talking about all Edomites. Okay. And their whole purpose is going to be 1,000 years of hardcore slavery to get, exterminated after they serve their purpose, man. So that's what that is talking about. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So they're going to fall into a lower state. Okay, they're going to get defeated. All right, and then ultimately to go into hardcore slavery for 1,000 years, as I said. Okay, so let's move on to one of my favorite scriptures that illustrates, that talks about the war in heaven, because it includes Yahushua. He's going to be basically the captain of the army of Yahweh. Okay, and he's got Michael, just as we read, Michael the archangel, and the other angels, and also his elect are going to be part of that army as well. Okay. Now, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that had moved all the waves thereof. And behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And that man is talking about Yahushua. Okay. And he waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. He waxed strong with the thousands of his angels. Okay. Just as the scripture talks about in Jude, which I'm going to get right now. Okay. And that's how heavy this the return of Yahushua with the angels is. Because once Yahushua returns with the angels, okay, Slakia. I lost my train of thought. It's going to be a marvelous event, so to say, because just as I'm going to read in Jude, the seventh from Adam, Enoch was prophesying about this day of the Lord. Okay, in the garden before everything really started to unfold. All right. The book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 14. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints. So there you go. The Lord cometh for 10,000 of his saints, and that saints is a capital S, and that represents the angels, man. All right. To execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and all their and all of their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. So this day of the Lord is going to be very great. And what the prophet Ezra was seeing was the day of the Lord. Okay, his return, because he's going to return Yahushua. Okay, he's going to return in the midst of World War III to deliver his people, man, to crush all the armies, all right, of the world, including the top army. I was not which one it was the top army, but the army of Babylon the Great. But now Russia has surpassed them, China and all them has surpassed America as a superpower. But that's neither here nor there. His 2 Ezra 13:2, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the ways thereof. And behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And just as I read in the book of Jude, that's talking about Yahushua and the saints. Okay, with that capital S, is talking about his angels. Okay, and also his elect, because the elect are nothing but angels in these mortal bodies right now. The word angel basically means messenger. So here it goes. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and just as I said, Yahushua with the heavenly host, the angels. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. So when Yahushua comes back, the whole world is going to fear him, man. All right, as they should. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth to fire. Now, Yahushua not just going to be in the heavens, all right, because he's going to crack those clouds, but he's going to be on a chariot, all right, the fathership. He's going to be on his main chariot, and it's going to be a multitude of a myriad of things happening. Okay, you're going to have angels shooting concentrated beams out of chariots. You're going to have angels and the ones with spiritual power doing destruction. All right, you're gonna have the thermonuclear missiles, being shot off and causing their damage. Okay, and you're gonna have just a whole bunch of destruction going around, man. And after this, I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number, from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Now, there's gonna be basically everyone against Yahushua and his heavenly host, and the elect as well. All right, so you're gonna have countless amount of people that's part of this military from different countries, all coming together to fight Yahushua. And they're gonna be using their war jets. They're gonna be using all of their weaponry. Like I always say, through the spirit, there's the military is basically about 50 years ahead, technology wise, than what they present to the world. So they have different weaponry that is classified, secret, top secret stuff that they haven't released to the public, or the public that doesn't know about. You have to have certain security clearances to know and be exposed to certain types of weaponry, man. And all of that is going to be unleashed in the coming in this day of the Lord, and they're gonna use that against Yahweh. All right. And they're gonna lose, man. It's not even gonna be fair because like when I go down, it talks about how they were so afraid. Yes, there's fight. Um, yeah, and also it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. All right, and he's not gonna come out of the ocean like, it's not gonna come out the ocean, man. All right, you go into the scriptures, it normally describes people, as the sea. So he's gonna come out of the midst of everyone, angels, the elect, and he's gonna just come out. He's gonna be on basically on center stage, And to back that up, Slakia, we're going to the book of Revelation to show you that the waters represents people, and he's not gonna be coming out of the sea like he's in the sea right now. And he's coming out of the sea. No, he's in the heaven on the right hand side of the Father. All right. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So there you go. All right, those waters, and in this case, the sea is talking about the people. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Let's get back to 2nd Ezra 13. Let's see if yes, 2nd Ezra 13 and 9. And lo, as he Salakia, verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graded himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. And that great mountain represents a chariot. So he's going to be on top of a chariot when he comes, a heavenly vehicle, so to say. Okay, not the chariots, that the conventional chariots, with the wheels, and is horse powered, horse driven. No, this is talking about so-called UFOs. But I would have seen the regional place where the hill was graven, and I could not. So when the prophet was seeing this vision, it was outside of his perception, his visual, where he could not see. It just basically covered up the whole the atmosphere that he could see, man. That's like something giant coming really close to the earth, and you can see it because it's in the atmosphere. All right, because just like we got the sun and the moon, which are outside of the atmosphere, but we can still see them faintly, or we can see a small image of it. I forgot what it's called, like a scale image of it, so to say. All right, but Yahweh Shah is gonna come with a chariot, and it's gonna be outside of. It's gonna be huge, man. Okay, and you yeah, it's gonna be huge, and that's why the prophet Ezra said he couldn't see where it started. All right, but I would have seen the regional place where the hill was graven, I could not. And after this, I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet there's fight, because Yahushua is coming in complete power, man. He's coming in his glory. Okay, he already died as a man. All right, now he's coming back. The scriptures say, "I will not meet thee as a man." Okay, so he's not gonna come back as a mortal man. Okay, he's gonna come back as an angelic force, being on the right hand side of Yahweh. Okay, let me get that. He said, "I will not meet thee as a man." So this is not gonna be the Yahushua that walked the earth a little bit over 2,000 years ago. This is gonna be him and all his power and all of his glory. All right. Now this is the book of This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So he will not, when he comes back, okay, he is not going to be in the body or have, he's not going to look like a mortal man. He's going to be an angelic being, an angelic force, man, okay, with all of his power being second in command uh, in the whole universe, all right, on the right-hand side of Yahweh, man. So that's unlimited power, okay, and he's going to use that power to utterly destroy all of his enemies, everyone that comes up against him. Like I just read, are the ones that's going to try to subdue him, which is going to represent his military, okay, and also you're going to have Jake that's in the military fighting against Yahweh Shah, man. Not just heathens, all right, not namely, but you're going to have so-called Israelites that's in this military fighting against their Savior, So it's going to be crazy, man. All right, and verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lift up his hand, nor his sword, nor any instrument of war. So he's coming like a boss, man, like a true king. When he crashes some clouds and when he comes, enters the atmosphere to address the world, the people, man, he's not going to be shaken. He's going to stand as stoic as, he's going to stand as a man. He's not going to look like he's not going to meet you as a man, but just as like the pure essence of a man. Like if you go to war and you're not scared and you're standing, like Jake say in the world, on all 10, and you just have that look about you, like you're a mean business. That's how your house shot is gonna come back, man. All right, he's gonna see all of the weaponry and everything that is gonna be used to try to subdue him or try to kill him, pretty much, and he's not even gonna budge. Okay, he's not even gonna budge, man. He's not even gonna lift a finger, Kind of. Let's see, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Okay, so basically he's gonna destroy the world is gonna be destroyed by his word, man. Okay, he's not even gonna lift. It's already being destroyed by his word, man. Look at what brothers are doing. All right, we're spiritually tearing down this place. Yahushua is the word, man. And we're spiritually tearing down this place by doing these lessons, doing epistles, going on the highways and byways, tearing down this man's kingdom. Okay, but basically he's gonna be directing chariots to shoot concentrated fire everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And he's basically gonna be like the best way I can describe it is him being in the state of a king. Now, when you really look at the state of a king and how they should maneuver, they really a king really doesn't do strenuous work. A king really doesn't leave his throne, pretty much, man. Like, look at Yahweh. Yahweh doesn't leave his throne. Yahweh sits on his throne, and he has people. He has workers and servants doing the work, doing things for him, man. But he's in control. He gave control to his son, all right. But his son works for him as well, man. All right. Yahweh was the first spirit created, and he was given the blueprint to create everything. Yahweh didn't do anything. He just gave the blueprint, the spirit, the inspiration to do it. But he himself didn't raise a finger, man. And that's truly being sovereign. That's truly being a king in all essence of what a king should be, Not to go on a tangent, but yeah, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest. Okay, so that's talking about everything that's going to be going on then, man. Are you going to have thermonuclear missiles going off? Are you going to have the angels, okay, the heavenly hosts, destroying things, okay, with their spiritual power, all right, shooting concentrated fire, it's going to be, and the thermonuclear missiles also exploding, man, doing their damage because, hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua put the spirit See, I created this Smith the Smite. Wait, let me see. Um, I don't want to butcher it. He created the Smith to blow up the coals in the fire. All right, this is Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. So there you go. Yahweh Shem Yahushua created everything, including the technology for these thermonuclear missiles, to be able to split atoms, to split nucleuses, and create a fire that's hotter than any conventional fire that you just make by rubbing two sticks together, or a lighter or something like that, man. Okay, this fire is gonna be it's an out of this world fire, and Yahweh Shem Yahushua created it, put that spirit and that inspiration on these certain scientists to do that, just to destroy them, man. Like the scriptures say, he created the smith that blow up the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I've created the ways to destroy. He did all that for that David. Okay, so let me go back to where I was. Yeah, let me go back to where I was. I think I was done with that second Ezra 13. No, and they were mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden and of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived but only dust and smell of smoke. And when I saw this, I was afraid. So it's going to seem like Yahweh Shem Yahushua operates outside of the constraints and the restraints of time. So it's going to seem like a quick defeat, even though all the armies of the world, all the armies of the earth are going to come against Yahushua to try to subdue him, try to kill him. All right, hey, just as the prophet Ezra just stated, basically they were made light work. Yahushua made light work of them, man. Something that might seem like it's going to take forever to defeat. This the numerous multitude of the armies. Yahushua did away with them in no time, man. And he said when he saw this, he was afraid. So you got to figure Yahushua coming back in his angelic power, man. All right, in all his glory. So just scripture on that, Isaiah 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Okay, so hey, Yahushua is coming back in glorious in his apparel, man. Traveling in the greatness of his strength. All right, that's a strength that you really can't fathom. You really can't even imagine, because he's the second most powerful being in the whole universe, everywhere, man. All right, Yahweh, and then Yahushua. All right. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. And that's it's symbolic for all the lives that he's gonna take with him. All right, all the bloodshed, and basically the defeat of every enemy against him, man. The only people that are gonna be saved alive are the ones that get beamed up in those chariots, because the scriptures say, "Woe unto the earth and the sea," because anyone that's that unlucky to be here when Yahushua comes back and is not in a chariot and looking down safely through that sea of glass mingled with fire, man, Lord willing, I get a seat on a chariot to escape that. I have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people there were none with me, for I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. So Yahushua, he is seething mad, man. He is he is angry. What happened to him, that most shameful, well, it's not a shameful death, but they really did some crazy things to him. They spit on him. They put a crown of thorns in his head. You know, smote him. You know, and he's second in command of all. Of the of heaven, man. Okay, so to go out like that, man, you can only imagine how he's feeling. You know, he's angry. All right, and I look, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore, my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in mine anger. Okay, and I will make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. And that ties into what I was talking about earlier. Okay, them falling out of their top seat. Okay, Lord's going into a lower state. All right. Let's see. Let's get the book Revelation chapter 19. I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon. I didn't want to make it too long, but we see how the Spirit operates. Revelation 19 and 11. Okay, and this is also talking about the return of Yahushua. All right, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. So there is going to be a war, okay, a great war in heaven. All right, but that hasn't happened yet, and that is not the spiritual demon Satan rebelling against the Most High. Okay. Verse 12, his eyes were as a flame of fire, on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. And his armies, which were in heaven, followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And those white horses represents chariots, all right, and pure, pureness. Okay, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Yahweh. So there you go. That winepress is basically represents the people. Okay, and he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So there you go. That doesn't mean no tattoo or nothing. That was a custom, to have your title and whatever on your garment, So let's see. I got a couple more. I'm gonna go to the book of Luke, chapter 10, and verse 18. The point really has been made, but this is just to take it home. Luke 10 and 18, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. So there you go. And that's not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. That's talking about that old serpent, the devil, Satan. And that goes back to a man. That goes back to basically Esau, man. That goes back to Eve, because he was that same serpent that was in the garden, all right, before, and he had melanin at that point in time, and he was the one that his spirit was in a melanated body. He tricked and beguiled Eve. Okay, then he came back as Cain. Then he came back as Esau, and that's when his melanin was stripped from him. Isaiah 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which dideth weaken the nations? So there you go. And Lucifer does not represent the spiritual demon Satan. All right, like I said earlier in the lesson, it's talking about the high level elites. Okay, the ones that were set up in that know this truth, and that know this knowledge, because Lucifer means light bearer. So they actually know. They know their origins. They know they go back to Esau, and they know who the true people of the Lord are. They know what their purpose are. They know what our purpose are, and they know that their time is short. You know, Revelation 12:12. That's why things are happening at such a fast rate. You know. Yeah, that's it, man. I think yeah, that was everything I wanted. Let's see. Like I said, I didn't want to make this long, and through the spirit, it wasn't too long. You know, but sometimes the spirit will have you where you get long winded. You know, I brought that out. Yeah, yeah, that's a good place to stop it, man. You know, Lord willing, hey, that was edifying, man. Hey, I want to give our honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Rakahakudash, to honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone rule well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the Lord's elect. And until next time, Shalom.